Good evening, Garden City. I'd like to call to order our regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, November 25th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Our first order of business is our opening ceremony, which consists of the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for those service members that have given their lives while defending our country. Would everybody please stand? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Miller, you take the roll call, please.
Mayor Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Kerwin.
Here.
Councilmember Squires.
Here.
Councilmember DeMichael.
Here.
Councilmember Earl.
Here.
Councilmember Jacobs.
Here.
Councilmember Lynch.
Here.
Okay, moving on to item 4, approval of the agenda as presented.
Mayor,
Councilmember Lynch.
I move for the approval of the agenda for Monday, November 25th, 2019 at 7 o'clock p.m.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Squires. Any comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 7-0. At this time, we're going to have recognition. If I could call up Dan Plamondon to the podium, please. Dan Plamondon was our Parks and Rec employee and director from October 3rd, 2006 to October 18th, 2019. For your over 13 years of service and dedication to the city of Garden City, Michigan, through turbulent financial times, you were able to direct the Parks and Rec Department to success. The City Council of Garden City thanks you for your commitment to the citizens of the city and wishes you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Mr. Plamondon, when we were in the recession, the Parks and Rec Department had to be self-sufficient. He created a second softball league to bring in more revenue. He was instrumental in bringing back the concession stand, which also brought in revenue, and other programs. He also was instrumental in the new refrigeration system, the new floor, the new locker room. So we're grateful to him for your time at Garden City and want to present you this plaque for everything you did for Garden City. If you want to say a few words, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very appreciative of my time in Garden City, and for the 13 years that I was here, I learned a lot. Right around the same time I started my job here, I got married, had my daughter Sydney. I want to thank my wife Catherine and my daughter Sydney for being here tonight. But the biggest thing that I learned was really how to be appreciative of what we had in the community, and it was really tough going through a lot of the changes and the recession, and I don't want to leave tonight without saying I could not have done it without the staff that I had working for me. And I think it's fitting the three individuals from my staff that are here tonight, Tori, Mike, and Lori. They really were my right-hand people, three of them, three right hands. They were there with me side by side, making the tough decisions, starting new programs, working late nights, working weekends, and putting up with me, and really buying into my vision. And I'm really thankful to them. I really am appreciative for what you guys did for me for the many years that we worked together. And I want to thank the council, for putting up with me as well and in my challenging ways at times. But there was a method to my madness most of the time. But again, thank you for this recognition, and I will always hold Garden City near and dear to my heart. And I still live in Livonia. I still will keep in contact with as many people as possible. And thank you for this recognition. It means a lot, and I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you.
You guys should be used to this by now. Where's Darcy? Oh, you're about tonight.
One of them is more happy than the other.
Okay, moving on, we'll go to comments from state and county officials. I see we have liaison Lisa Hicks Clayton from Senator Betty Jean Alexander's office.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Mayor and council members, city manager, and of course, City Clerk Miller, and the residents of Garden City. Again, from Senator Betty Jean Alexander's office, we don't have a legislative update because they are out of session right now as we approach a Thanksgiving week. But what we did want to say is hats off to all of you, Mayor Walker, and whoever's with your Veterans Committee for the Veterans Ceremony that you held on November 11th. That was a phenomenal ceremony and very heartwarming, by the way, so thank you for that. We also want to let you know that we're not having office hours during the month of December, so we will start back up in January 2020. And we look forward to participating in the Santaland Parade this Saturday coming up after Thanksgiving. And we want to make sure you contact our office if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any events coming up you'd like us to know about, support, participate in. We're eager to do so, and wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody here from the county? I don't see anybody. Oscar, do you have anything? No? Okay, moving on to community events. I'm going to call up Mr. Dan York, our Communications Director.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Everybody pretty much knows, but I thought I would take the time to come up and say that, of course, the parade is this Saturday, beginning at 10 o'clock. It's the 59th annual Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade. And the theme for this year is Christmas at the Movies. The route is the same as it's been the last couple of years. It'll start at the high school, go south on Ford, south on Middlebelt, turn east on Ford, and end up on Central. There will be an event at Garden City Cafe afterwards. It's sponsored by the Downtown Development Authority, where everybody can see Santa. We have 5 bands this year, weather permitting. We have Garden City, Taylor, Crestwood, and Robichaud, and we have a fifth band rather, that's a rock band called Drop Third Strike, and they'll be appearing. Our Grand Marshals are Chanel Johnson. She is Miss Michigan USA. Obviously, Elise Made was the Miss Michigan last year from Garden City, and this is the new Miss Michigan for 2020. And also David Kniezek will be one of our Grand Marshals, a decorated Marine Corps veteran, state senator, state rep, and currently the Director of Legislative Affairs for the Attorney General's office. We've got over 80 entries, a lot of the ones that we've had in the past, Paws and Rory and the Great Lakes Garrison folks, the Great Lakes Ghostbusters, so we've got the Star Wars guys and the Ghostbusters, Redford Unicycle Club, Scout Service Organizations, Dignitaries Floats, and of course Santa Claus. We want to thank the DDA. They are the title sponsor for the Santaland Parade. That's why it's called the Garden City Downtown Development Authority Santaland Parade. They make a substantial contribution, as did Bocelli and Associates, and Suburban Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, that's hard to say, here of Garden City and Garden City Pond. We also want to thank the Police Department and the Department of Public Service because they've been working with us a lot over the last couple of weeks to make sure everything comes off okay. And we thank them very much. And quickly, I want to thank the Santaland Parade Committee, of which Pat Squires is one of the members, and she was the original one, along with Donna Spiteri, that took this over in the early 2000s. And organically, a committee sort of formed. I don't think we ever meant for this to happen, but it did. And she is a big part of that. Kevin Kramus, Monica Fulton, Margot Arnosky, Zach King, Mark Randazzo, Rob Cox, Faith Briggs, and Megan Sheeran, and of course, all of the volunteers who worked the day of. We have about 80 people that work the day of on the parade, the hundreds of people that appear in the parade. So again, that's Saturday, 10 o'clock. You can watch it live on Facebook, you can watch it live on YouTube, or you can watch it on cable television. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's great.
Okay. Petitions and communications. Is there anybody here from the citizens of the Garden City Library that wanted to speak from the citizens of Garden City Library? Okay, seeing none. We'll move on. We have no public hearing tonight. Move on to item 10, the consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Lynch.
I move for the approval of the consent agenda, items 10A, 1 through 7.
Support. Support from Councilmember Earl. Any comments from the table? I just want to say we're accepting the resignation of Will Pistor, who's served on the Planning Commission for 20 years, and we are going to recognize him at the December 9th meeting for his time of volunteer service to the city. He couldn't make it here tonight, so we will recognize him. And I have his replacement that we'll be appointing right now, Randy Mativier. Want to stand up, Randy, so everybody knows who you are? This is Randy, who we're appointing to the Planning Commission to replace Will Pistor. Thank you, sir. Thank you for volunteering. Any other comments from the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, hearing none, that passes 7-0. Moving on to our action items. Item 1, the 2020 council schedule. Mr. Doherty.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a slight change from what's in the actual agenda packet compared to what's in front of the council right now is March 30th. Apparently, again, not being fully from Michigan or from the Detroit area, did not realize that opening day of baseball for the Tigers was a national holiday, which interferes with any activities in the region. So March 30th was actually not a council meeting, but it was a workshop. It was our 4th budget workshop. Because of some ways we're consolidating the budget. Normally, the first budget meeting is an overview of what's happening, and then we kind of get into the meetings later. At this point, we may end up having just the 3 budget meetings instead of the 4th one as it is. So at this point, instead of actually changing the date, we may just hold off, and as we get into March, we could decide if a 4th meeting is warranted at that time. So right now, those 3 budget meetings are there. We'll take off the March 30th. It says Thursday, March 30th, which is actually a Monday. And then just above that, there was a 2019 instead of a 2020. There was a misprint also. So if anybody looks at the packet, looks at the calendar, there's going to be an updated calendar from what we're looking to approve tonight. So March 30th is off, and of course, the one above it is not 2019, it is 2020. So this will be, if it's adopted tonight, will be put out publicly for next year's meetings.
Mayor.
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to approve the 2020 City Council schedule and direct the city clerk to publish as required in Public Act 267 of 1976.
Support.
Support by Councilmember Kerwin. Any comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 7-0. Next, we have item 2, BPI Information Systems.
Mayor,
Councilmember Squires.
I move to approve a one-year contract extension with BPI Information Systems at the same rate as the previous three-year contract.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Kerwin. This is for our computer hardware repair, help desk, 24/7 help, network services. These guys work on all the computers in the city, fire department, police department. They work on the in-car computers for the police department. And this is a one-year contract for computer services. Any comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 3, proposal for design and bidding services for City Park bicycle path resurfacing.
Mayor?
What's that?
Ryan?
Oh, Ryan, come on up. I was going to call him up after the motion.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Excuse me. This is for the resurfacing of the walking trail over at City Park. Basically, we would be looking to put a 2-inch layer over the existing path and removing and replacing certain sections that have severely deteriorated. We'd be looking to start the design on this project right away. Probably myself and our construction manager will probably walk the site to locate those areas that are severely deteriorated that would need to be removed and replaced. We'll probably walk it right after a rain to see if there's any ponding along the path as well, any drainage issues that need to be addressed as well. The intent would be to get this out to bid at the same time that the road projects, the asphalt road projects would be put out to bid in January. Hopefully we can get better pricing by doing so and maybe have the same contractor that's going to be or one of the same contractors that's going to be working on the asphalt road projects be doing this project as well. So we would be looking to construct this as soon as the asphalt plant's open in late April, early May, as soon as the weather improves.
Okay, any questions from council?
Just to confirm, we're just resurfacing, it's not widening?
That's correct. It's currently 8 feet wide. We're going to leave it at 8 feet wide.
Councilmember Jacobs.
Yeah, Mr. Doherty or Mr. Kern, I know we had talked about putting a sidewalk down there and then possibly moving the walking path.
That part will be adjusted along the, if anybody looks Google Earth satellite, or if you just drive by, we're looking to move the sidewalk. Currently, there is no sidewalk along Cherry Hill, right at the ice rink area. So you'd walk onto the walking path, of course, and be knocked over by a bicycle or some skateboard or anything else. So we're looking to actually adjust possibly where the old walking path is now, make that part of the sidewalk, and then create a new path a little closer to the building. So in that area, we'd actually have 2 parallel walkways, one clearly for the sidewalk for people carrying groceries and someone else that's exercising. So that's a little adjustment we're going to make along Cherry Hill.
Correct. We do have that sidewalk gap project designed and ready to go out to bid after the first year as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any more comments from the table?
Mayor, when will the
Councilmember Mike.
design plans be back by? So that way we know and we can look at what the bike path is going to look like, what changes are going to be made?
I would say probably right after the first of the year, the design plans would be ready and go out to bid. And if you want to look at them,
Okay.
I'd be willing to meet with you on that.
Okay. Anybody else from the table? I need a motion, please.
Mayor?
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to approve the proposal for design and bidding services for the City Park walking, bicycling path resurfacing with Hennessy Engineers of Southgate, Michigan, in an amount not to exceed $6,470.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Squires. We already had comments from the table. From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item 4, lot split for parcel 35-014-03-0029-000 at 28680 Cherry Hill.
Mayor?
Councilmember Lynch.
I move to approve the lot split of parcel 35-014-03-0029-000.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Earl. This is Good Hope Lutheran on Cherry Hill. They have a church and then they have a house, and they're just splitting it. Is that
Correct.
correct understanding? Okay. 'Cause I think they're going to sell off the house
That is the proposal.
and give the pastor a housing allowance instead of that house.
Yes.
So that's the reason for the split. One parcel's the church, the other one is going to be for the house.
Correct.
That's
And the
my
house, and the house is going to face Garden, have a new address over there.
Okay.
So,
So I'll just explain to the residents what this is about. Any,
Mayor, this isn't, it's not the lot across the street, right, that we approved like a year or two ago that they were gonna build a veterans?
no, this is to the west of the church,
Do we know
at the corner of
anything that's
Garden
going on with
and
that one?
Nothing yet.
nothing yet. They'll come to us when they're going to build, but yeah, that's still just an empty lot, the one you're talking about. Any other comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item 5, Mr. Miller, appointment of the city treasurer.
It's actually, it's
Oh,
going to be
Doc, you want to talk on that? All right.
All right, so, thank you, Mayor. In accordance with the charter of the City of Garden City, I'm proud to recommend Brian Marciniak to the position of City Treasurer. Brian's raised next door, City of Wayne, graduated from Wayne High School, Eastern Michigan University with a bachelor's degree in accounting, 16 years in public accounting and 13 years in municipal government, with his last position being in the city of Flat Rock, where he was the treasurer, chief financial officer, and city administrator. So besides completing several municipal certifications, he's also a registered CPA. So that helps us along the way. Even this past week, we met with Plant Moran going over the audit. This next meeting, the audit's going to be on our agenda to discuss here in December. They had nothing but great things to say about Brian, how prepared he was, professionalism, and since he's just came to us recently as the deputy treasurer, he should have really been behind the 8 ball, but he got ahead quick. So spending time as an auditor in the past too helped in preparing for what they needed to make sure they had all their information. So with that, highly recommend Brian Marciniak to move from our deputy treasurer position to be the city's treasurer. Brian's here. There he is.
Brian, you want to stand up? Let everybody see who you are? You want to say anything?
Stand up.
Okay,
Thank you, I look forward to the opportunity for recommendation.
thank you.
Mayor,
Motion's in order?
I motion to approve the appointment of Brian Marciniak, CPA, as the city treasurer.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Lynch. Any comments from the table? I just want to say welcome. Look forward to working with you.
Vote.
And from any comments from the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Welcome, Mr. City Treasurer. At this time, we'll move on to item 11. For public comments that were not on the agenda, if you wish to speak, please come up to the podium, state your name. There is a 3-minute time limit. This is also the time for you to make a comment or a statement. It is not the time to go back and forth with council members. Anybody wishing to speak? Mr. Jones? Oh, Ms. Dole.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of quick things. Mr. York mentioned that immediately following the Santaland Parade on Saturday, you can bring the kiddies over to meet Santa at Garden City Cafe. He will be sitting there waiting patiently. Also, we have on Monday, we're going to have our annual tree lighting ceremony, so that's December 2nd, Monday at the Commons Corner, 6 p.m. Santa will also be there. We'll have some, we'll do some Christmas carols, have some hot cocoa and cookies, and welcome Santa and light the trees. If you've been paying attention, all the decorations are going up downtown, and the trees are ready to be lit. The other thing, real quick, regarding Garden City Goodfellows, Wednesday evening at Eddie's, formerly Leon's, he is doing a Thanksgiving dinner from 4 to 7 that will benefit the Garden City Goodfellows. We've got about 300 kids again this year, and the coffers are starting to get stretched a lot. So there is that, and we will be out Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday with Goodfellow papers on the corners. We will be at Ford and Middlebelt, Warren and Middlebelt, Merriman and Ford. And if we get enough volunteers, we'll also be down at Vinoy and Ford. So if anybody has a little bit of extra time on their hands, come on over to the Masonic Lodge and we will hook you up with some papers and you can go hawk some papers for us on the street corners. And that's all I have. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
Mike Jones, Donnelly, Garden City. I just have a quick question. Do you know yet when you're going to set a date for the 2020 road construction projects?
We'll discuss that in our roundtable.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Hunt?
Kevin Hunt, Bridge Street. Just wanted to go over one item, our street sweeping that just happened in the city here. I hope we've learned a lot from it. This guy that came out of Florida doesn't realize that leaves are dumping down like crazy and they can't get anything cleaned up. I don't know why we're even out trying in November. The signs that are out for them. I've been running a lot of different cities for a lot of years here with my business. All these cities go out ahead of time and get just paper signs that they're tying onto trees and things up and down all the streets, letting people know 24 hours in advance, get your cars off the street. When they came down my street, there was 4 trucks down there. They didn't even get half of it because all the cars are out there. When you only put 3 or 4 signs in a mile saying this is where it's at and where I'm at, it was supposed to be one day. It got delayed. I understand that because they couldn't get everything picked up with all the leaves and everything. But then they changed it around. Even what was on the website wasn't true. They came down, I believe it was on a Tuesday down my street. They put the signs out that night. Signs didn't even get out there until after the fact. So they need to do a little more pre-planning on that and get those cars off the street so it does work. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Molnar?
I just want to talk about what Mr. Jacobs talking about the house on Cherry Hill. It's been 2 years. We got a place down there about Dunkin' Donuts. It's been 4 years. I think it's time somebody changes the procedure on getting these people special land use like Dunkin' Donut had. And it's 4 years later and nothing's been done at all. I think we need to do something about if you come and you want to change, give you 90 days to get your plans into the city and give them 6 months to start doing something, not 4 years. It's been 4 years for Dunkin' Donuts. They ain't hit a lick of work yet. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Ray Schultz, motivated advocate for people with disabilities, and I'm also an ambassador in mental health. Just wanted to I get involved with City Garden City sometime. I'll be going to their Santa Claus parade and looking forward to the on Mondays, December 2nd. So I am a voice, and I did meet a couple officers in Garden City last year at an event. So my passion is about mental health, and mental health affects us all. And what mental health ambassadors do, they go out and do presentations and talk about their stories and talk about resources that they have out there. So I just wanted to introduce myself, and you'll be seeing more of me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. It's, to answer Mr. Jones' question, it should be the middle of December. We'll have up the map and the presentation of what roads we're looking to do this spring. Of course, we don't know when to start exactly, depending on the weather itself. Rental homes. I'm not a social media guy. I don't look to see what everybody's saying. So as always, as we've said many times, if you have questions or concerns, call City Hall. We could find out who to talk to, what department, so we can answer questions. We have had a few people calling about rental homes next door. They're concerned about rental houses. And some have been incorrect. They are actually homeowners, homesteaded. Others we have come across that were rentals that either didn't know that they were supposed to register with us or just totally neglected it. Now, the big part of it, it's not to be Big Brother. The point is, if you're renting a home, you feel that it should be a safe home. So if someone just rents a home and you go in there, you think everything's good, and then you find out afterward there's nothing safe about the home at all. So they should look at the city and say, you know, if I'm going to rent a house, which has become a business for some homeowners renting out these properties, they should be at least safe. So that's the point of registering your rental home, so the city can go in, fire inspection, make sure things are up to code, and we don't have a bad incident one night that a family's lost because we didn't know it was a rental home. So if you do see a neighbor's home, you're concerned, sometimes it's really just code enforcement issues. Looks like the house has been let go over the past from the people that used to live there. Well, it just may be sloppy people, unfortunately. And it's not a rental house, but let us know. Give us a call City Hall, and just say, here's an address, call the building department, and just say, here's an address. If you could just look into this. In the meantime, we can have code enforcement check it out also. But we did catch somebody on Thursday. They came in on Friday, paid their fees, and have set up their inspection. They just said they didn't know anything about it. So please let us know. It's 100% more effective calling City Hall with a concern than it is to complain on the internet. So let us know, and we can fix your concerns and issues. We just need to know about it first. But other than that, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and enjoy the holiday. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Earl.
Thank you, Mayor. First, on Saturday, I went to with my family to see the play Puffs up at the high school. I just want to congratulate the Garden City High School theater program because they did a phenomenal job. The students, the actors, and the staff, they knocked it out of the park. Wednesday is the night before Thanksgiving. It's traditionally the busiest bar night of the year, and so I'm putting it out there that the local, the county, and the state police will be in high enforcement mode. If you are pulled over and you're drinking and driving, you will go to jail. There's no reason to be drinking and driving. There's nothing wrong with having fun, just do it safe. And please keep that in mind. Everybody wants to see their family on Thanksgiving and not through a visitor portal. Looking forward to the Santaland Parade on Saturday. It's a phenomenal event, and I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Squires.
Yes, thank you. First, I'd like to issue my condolences to the family of Barbara Gallinat, who passed away November 17th. She was a longtime Garden City resident. And as Dan said, don't forget, on Saturday, we look forward to seeing you at the Garden City Santaland Parade. And have everyone have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jacobs.
Yeah, a couple things. One, condolences to Mrs. Segasar. Her husband, John, has been, I think, on the one of our commissions for years for the taxes, for the assessment, and she just passed away. So condolences to her family. And I have a question for, I don't know who it's for, DPS or Mr. Doherty, the leaves at City Park. I drove through there on Saturday. There's a lot of them. And I know I thought we used to pick them up. Do we still do that, or do we have a?
No, we are starting to pick them up, but it's pretty much going to be a all fall, early winter process. All those oak trees, they'll have the leaves still on the trees.
Okay.
Spring, so
Yeah, I know.
we are in the process.
Mine haven't dropped. And speaking of leaves, I know compost ends on December 13th, so you can pick up your leaves till the 13th, and GFL will pick them up at least until then. Hopefully all the leaves fall by then. I want to thank the DPS for the snow removal during our last big snowstorm. It was exceptional. Nothing but praise from the residents that I've talked to. And then, Mr. Doherty, I know in our capital improvement we had recommended or put in for a Lucas device, which is a automatic CPR machine for our fire department to, I guess, help save lives of residents, but also it's a lot of work for the people, for the firefighters to give CPR. And I was wondering if we had looked at that at all, or Chief.
You want to come up for a second, just give a quick 1-minute overview on what the Lucas device is? We've been talking about getting the final pricing to bring it back to the council.
Okay.
As a life-saving. piece of equipment.
Hello, thank you. The Lucas device provides compressions. It takes it's a hands-off for the firefighters or responders. We have been talking about this for about the last 2 weeks. We have an opportunity to get in a bid with another city, bring the price down. It's just the whole warranty package. If we need to pay it all up front, one of the options I asked for was to pay an installment. So that's what we're waiting on, is that information. I can tell you since November 11th, we've had 7 calls that required CPR for 7 people. So it's a lot of work.
Now, this is a machine that normally in the ambulance, somebody's on top where the
Yes.
machine can do it himself, so it's hands-off for human intervention.
Especially now when it went up to, compressions, fast and more of them. It just takes that whole element out and allows us to do the other interventions that we need to do.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you.
So
Be
we'll
well
be
worth-
bringing that back to the council
Good. I
shortly.
think it'd be well worth it.
Yes.
And last thing, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Enjoy the holidays.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Kerwin?
Well, this Saturday is not only the parade, but Saturday, November 30th is Small Business Saturday. Time and time again, our businesses give back to our community. The best way we can repay them is to patron their business. For every dollar spent in a small business in the U.S., approximately 67 cents stays in the local community. So when you shop small on Small Business Saturday and all year long, it can help and add up to be a big impact. And I just want to talk about a few businesses that stood out to me this past week. As I was driving down Ford Road by Vinoy, I noticed a little bakery that opened up there. My daughter and I stopped in. I got her a little cake pop and a very large brownie. It was under $3, and she loved it. So if you're driving by, stop in. And talking with them, they actually live local, and they opened up local. So go in and see what they're about. A couple days ago, a video popped up on my phone, and it was from Amazing Dental that just opened up here, I think in October. And they had an employee who was taking an Uber to work every day. As you can imagine, that would be quite expensive. Well, the dentists in that building and the staff united together, chipped in, and bought her a vehicle just recently. It was pretty amazing. And just to reiterate, Mrs. Dold, Eddie's Restaurant on Ford Road, where the old Leon's was, is hosting a free Thanksgiving dinner November 27th from 4 to 8. Any donations will go to the Garden City Goodfellows, and that money helps the families and kids in our own community. Also, if you're feeling a little charitable this holiday season, our home pantry, located at the Maplewood Center, always accepts donations and food. This is for residents in our own community as well. $10 buys a Garden City family of 4 a meal that they can share together. At last, I would like to wish everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and remember to shop local.
Thank you. Councilmember Lynch?
Yes. As Ms. Kerwin was talking, it reminds me, I want to give kudos to St. Thomas the Apostle. They adopted 75 families, and this is in addition to what Goodfellows and the other churches and everybody else is doing. They just adopted 75 families for not only Thanksgiving, but Christmas as well. So a lot of good things happening in Garden City. Other than that, I'll see you at the parade on Saturday, the tree lighting on Monday, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Okay, Councilmember Jacobs wants to say something else?
Yeah, I forgot. I had one more thing. Sports venue tonight did their Thanksgiving dinner for the seniors. And some of the numbers that they had 109 turkeys donated. They had 48, they cooked 48 turkeys and fed them or used them tonight. 150 pounds of potatoes. They delivered 90 dinners, full dinners, to the towers for the seniors that couldn't get out. A total of about 350 dinners total. And I stopped in earlier, and they said they were lined up at 3 o'clock when they opened to serve them. And they were almost running out of the 48 turkeys they had cooked for the night at 5:30-ish. So, and that's all donated work. All the food's donated, and all the work to cook them and serve them is through volunteers and donations. So, good job. And I know, I believe Garden City Cafe does one. The mayor will talk about that. So, thanks to Lori Viviano and her staff. They do a great job there. And that's it this time.
Councilmember DeMichael?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to send out my condolences to Ruth Ann Albus's family, Jamie and Dan Irvin, who graduated from Garden City High School. Ruth Ann was a longtime resident. She passed away last Monday at Douglas Elementary. She was a tutor there. And so I just wanted to send my condolences to their family. Also, I wanted to welcome Randy to the Planning Commission. Good luck there. I also wanted to thank everyone who came out to support the Garden City Theater's program, Puffs show. It was a great show. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on out, and I hope to see you guys there at those future events. Just to piggyback off of that, we do have the Garden City High School's Holiday Craft and Vendor Show coming up December 7th, 2019. That's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's $1 admission. There's going to be over 75 tables, raffles, bake sale concessions, and then for more information or table availability, you can go to vendorshow@gmail.com, or you can facebook.com GCHS Craft Show. Other than that, I just want to tell everybody have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
I have nothing.
Okay. I want to give my condolences to the Jim Hardy family. I grew up with Jim Hardy on Pierce Street. He passed away 2 days ago. He's a lifelong Garden City resident, Memorial, Vogel, and West. Played football with him as a kid. Just a great guy, and my prayers go out to his family. Garden City Cafe is having a turkey dinner tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Taking donations. Whatever you want to donate for your meal, all donations go to Garden City Charities. That's tomorrow from 5 to 9. So we had sports venue tonight, Garden City Cafe tomorrow night, and Wednesday is Eddie's. So by the time you get to Thursday, Thanksgiving, you probably want to order pizza. You'll be sick of turkey. But what a great community we have. We are blessed, and just all these people doing great, all these businesses doing great things for our city. Can I call up Ryan, please, to the podium? I got some questions for you. Punch list items from from the contractor on asphalt. Still issues at Balmoral and Craig. There's still issues at Maplewood and Craig. We got mild temperatures this week. I've been hearing next week, snow. We got to get this stuff done. I'm tired of putting the residents through this stuff. You're overseeing the contractors. You need to crack the whip. Winter's right around the corner. We have to get these punch list items done.
Yeah, well, I've been in contact with the contractors today about that, trying to get them out here as soon as possible. I know in the asphalt project with CI Contracting, they're going to be out tomorrow and Wednesday finishing up their punch list items, and then doing the gravel shoulder work to finish that off next week. Mark Anthony will be getting back with me tomorrow as far as when they've got some items to do out on Maplewood. I know some of the asphalt work at Balmoral and Craig, and then north of Maplewood and Craig, is probably going to have to wait until the spring at this point. They were planning on doing that right as we got the snowfall.
They also have a drainage problem there.
Yes.
The water's just laying there.
We are working to get that resolved.
That's got to happen. And
yeah, that is going to happen
Mr.
this
Dockery,
year.
you'll follow through on these items?
Yes.
Yeah, the mayor and I stopped there tonight before the meeting and talked to the homeowner, and it's time. It's not just the contractor issue, but it's certainly something that we need to take care of.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls, and this is year one of the roads.
Yes.
And we learn as we go. We got 4 more years of fixing the streets, and
right.
We got to hold these contractors more accountable.
Right.
And I want things in place in next year's contract, dates they got to finish by, or they start losing money.
Yes.
That's got to happen.
Yes, and we do have that in the contract. And as far as the Mark Anthony contract, there is going to be penalties on that one for sure.
When you bring the bids for season 2 next year, I want to see that verbiage in the contract. If they're not done, they start getting banged. You hit their wallet, they'll be out there.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Santaland Parade, like everybody said, this Saturday, 10 a.m. It leaves high school parking lot, goes south to Ford Road to the Miniature Golf Central, and comes into the old Kroger parking lot. It's a great event, 59th annual. Make sure you attend. And then Monday, out here at the Commons Corner, Ford and Middlebelt, the tree lighting on December 2nd. Social media. don't believe everything, just because it's on social media doesn't mean it's true. Please, if you got questions or concerns about something in the city, give us a call or come to the meeting. But don't, everything that you read on, I've seen so much stuff that is untrue. And it gets everybody going. So get it from the horse's mouth. Come here. And then I'm surprised at how many people don't know how their local government doesn't work. So I just want to put this out there. This board right here, we run the city. We have a budget and we make the decisions to run the city. The library board, they have their own library board and their own budget. They run the Garden City Library. We have nothing to do with the Garden City Library. The Garden City Public Schools, they have their own board and their own budget, and they run Garden City Schools. So if you got a school issue, you need to contact the school board over on Radcliffe. And if you got a city problem, you deal with us. If you got a library problem, go to the library board. You'd be surprised how many people think we control all three of those, and we don't. So, bus issues, picking up kids, you need to go to the school board. I mean, they're all part of the city, but the answers will come from these different three boards. We run the city only. So I just want to educate the people, so a lot of people don't know that. We have a great community, like I said. We are blessed. Spend time with your family this week, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.